So Shinobi Strikers released a new dev letter that kind of pissed people off, but mainly in the dev letter they were talking about the new Inferno style blade that's coming for the range types, also the guard defense spear that's going to be having some more things coming with it, and they also announced they're going to be having some more weapons to try to change the tide of the battle with unique gimmicks, and they also said the next letter is going to be at the end of August, and they announced that we're getting the next DLC as a defense type, which probably pissed a lot of people off since healers haven't had a DLC in so long. But what they said about the defense type is that this person specializes in protecting their allies with genjutsu, and that very much narrows down our options. It could be Tayuya, it could be Danzo, and it also could be Sage Jiraiya, or it could even be Gengetsu Hozuki, even though we already got a Kage Jutsu from him, but everybody believes it's Kurenai. And I think I agree with them, even though I don't really see how Kurenai really fits a defense class. I think Danzo would fit defense better, but truthfully all the options we have truly fit range more for me. The only one that I really think would actually be good as a defense type would be Sage Jiraiya. But hey man, since we're thinking that it's going to be Kurenai, we're going to be giving y'all a Kurenai DLC concept today, man. So this is something you might be interested in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell, do all those nice things. And today's anime question is going to be, if Kurenai is the DLC, are you going to be hyped for it? Or are you kind of bummed out that she's going to the defense class? Let me know how you feel about it, man. But let's go ahead and hop straight into this video. And I didn't mention that Shinobi Striker will be following a new cycle of releasing their content every 3 months, and that's including the DLC and also the Tell Beast pack. I think they're going to do this where it alternates, where we only maybe go 1 month at most without content, so maybe skip 1 month, then Tell Beast pack, then DLC, or they could do it vice versa, where they could do Tell Beast pack, skip a month, and then DLC. But for the most part, y'all should expect to not wait longer than a month without content. Hopefully, if they do this way, I don't think that they'd actually release a Tell Beast pack and a DLC in the same month. Okay, so we talk about some key points about Kurenai. Of course, obviously she's going to be a defense type because the next DLC is a defense type. So some key things you need to know about her is that her dash, I'm pretty sure, will involve petals, similar to how it is in Storm Connections, where they have the cherry blossoms show up whenever she's dashing. I think her weapon of choice is likely going to be a kunai. I don't really think this character is going to bring us a new weapon unless they try to get creative with things. And she could also use Earth Style, even though our DLC concept is going to focus on Genjutsu today. She could use Earth Style in things like binding roots and stuff like that. So as far as some basic rewards, we know we'll be getting a character unlocked. I think they could give us Mirai's hair, since, you know, they are the daughter of Asuma and Kurenai. They could give us that, and they could also give us Kurenai's Boruto outfit, and also Kurenai the last outfit, while also finishing up with the Shinobi boost, and with the honorary title being Evil Illusion. A lot of things in this DLC concept are going to have Evil Illusion in it. So look at the substitution. It's going to be the Petal Blossom Illusion, and this one is the user transforms into cherry blossoms, giving access to movement to get distance. In addition, the user leaves behind a trail of blossoms. Users hit by the blossoms have their screen distorted and controls reversed. And this one I think is going to work similar to the Ink clone. I think Kurenai, if they did her right, I think a lot of her moves should have a similar status effect to what we get with Sai with the Ink, but instead it's her using her cherry blossoms, which is like an extent of her using her genjutsu on you. And this would be pretty cool. I think it worked pretty similar to the Himotsu Hirosaka, where you can move around, but instead you're going to be leaving the trail of cherry blossoms, and if they run into it, they get the debuff. So we move into the ninjutsus. It's going to be the Illusory Delicate Blossom Jutsu, and this one's going to have a 15-second cooldown. I think it'll have a power of 2 and a range of 1. And basically what this one does, the user traps nearby enemies in a genjutsu. Enemies affected by the genjutsu have their screen distorted, controls reversed, and movement speed reduced while taking damage. This attack is unguardable. Yeah, I know, this is a lot of stuff. This sounds pretty overpowered, and I think this move would work similar to what we have in Storm Connections. This is the exact move from Storm Connections when she's in her awakening mode, where she's actually able to catch you at a genjutsu, but I think the way this would work in Shinobi Striker, it'd have a similar effect of catching you, but with the debuffs that I mentioned, and I think that activation would be similar to the Cooling Breeze. I think this would be a good enough range to catch a few people in it, but also not too overpowered. But let me know how y'all feel about that. I think this would be a pretty cool genjutsu to give to the defense types. The next jutsu is going to be the Lingering Phantom Blossom. This is also from Storm Connections, and this one has a power of 2 and a range of 3, and the user summons a cherry blossom clone that drifts slowly on the battlefield. Enemies hit by the clone are placed in a genjutsu state, resetting the enemy's substitution and distorting their screen. So I think with this one it'd be a little bit different from Storm Connections to implement for Shinobi Striker. I think it would move about at the speed of Shikigami Dance Shield, and I think actually you could summon maybe 2 or 3 of them. I think this would make it a little bit better, where you summon like 2 or 3 of them. Kind of also similar to the Wind Scythe, where, you know, they're basically just following you around. And I think these will stay on the field maybe for about, you know, maybe 7 to 10 seconds. I think this will be pretty cool and very good for like objective game modes like base battle and stuff like that, because people aren't going to want to lose their substitution and have their screen messed up. But let me know how y'all feel about this one as well. And when we move over to the secret technique, it's going to be another one from Storm Connections, because we don't really have a lot of things to really pull stuff from Kurenai, you know, considering, you know, what the stuff that she actually did in the anime. But the ultimate's gonna be the Tree Bind Death Fleeting Flower. And this one is the user traps all nearby enemies in a genjutsu, placing the enemies in trees, distorting their screens. Additional input will cause the user to finish the genjutsu by inflicting a final blow on enemies. Enemies caught in the trees have their secret technique gauge drained while captured. Now this one would be pretty strategic, and I think it works similar to the Great Forest Divine Emergence. You know what I'm talking about. But instead, you can time the second activation. While they're in the trees, their secret technique gauge is going to be getting reduced because they're getting, you know, terrorized in this genjutsu. Now this one can be strategic because depending on if the, you know, if some of the teammates are not caught in the genjutsu, if they come and start beating you up, this might prevent you from actually doing the second activation and actually, you know, finishing the move off. And let me know how you think this ultimate should work. Should it work where you can be able to move around freely, or should this work similar to how the Palm Sage Jutsu is, where if you have this genjutsu active, you have to have the hand signs activated while you're moving, which makes it even more risky to hold this jutsu for a long time with the risk of getting hit. Let me know how y'all feel about that, man. But all around, this is basically my DLC concept for Kurenai. I went very genjutsu heavy. Pretty much every move has something to do with genjutsu. And I think this would be pretty cool for a character that very much fights with genjutsu. I'd be really excited that, you know, implement the cherry blossoms and stuff like that. It'd be nice if we got a weapon. Like I said, for the most part, we've seen Kurenai fight with a kunai. They could bring a basic kunai to defense types, but I wouldn't hold your breath on it. But let me know how y'all actually feel about this if we are getting Kurenai. And also, I didn't say, if you actually want to see about the concepts of Danzo and Tayuya, I actually did do concepts of both of those characters, man. So you can actually check those out at the end of the video, man. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your comments down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell, do all those nice things. And I'm going to see you on the next one, man. We up.